welcome back to our podcast, Burning Thoughts. My name is Miriam Abdullahi.
My name is Corson Mack.
Today we will be talking about the book Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, and we will be going through the symbol analysis, theme explorations, technology and innovations, and some of our final thoughts and future predictions. So let's get started. So when you read the book, obviously there was like a lot of symbolism happening. There was a lot of things that symbolized many different things. And do you have any examples you want to share?
I think some of my amazing examples are three best examples would be the phoenix, probably fire, and the books for sure, because like the phoenix is like, symbolizing rebirth, and like when for me, like when the city burned down or like it blew up, and when Guy killed Montag, they were like rebirthing or like becoming something new, like so they had to be destroyed, in order to come back.
All right, yeah, I think that's a pretty good take. And you said fire and books as well. Why do you think that?
Okay, so fire, it can symbolize things like destruction, as in the book, because they were burning all the houses down, burning all the books down. That's destruction. But then towards the end of the book, they were talking about, or there was like
the campfire.
Yeah, the campfire.
Yeah.
Right, it was symbolizing warmth and like showing that fire isn't only used for destruction; it can be used for survival too.
Yes. And as for books, I think I can agree with that one too, because obviously the books they symbolize like knowledge and freedom of speech. Like even now, obviously we have the Constitution and the government keeping our rights and everything, and the books really do symbolize that, because people can write whatever they want. They could talk crap about President Trump for all they want, and like, it doesn't really matter because freedom of speech, right? And like the fact that got banned really shows just how oppressive their society was.
Yeah.
Any other symbols?
I guess the hearth and the salamander, or my favorite, like out of the part one, part two, part three, like they're named symbols, and I think my favorite was like part two, or it was part two. I think it was a sieve in the sand.
Yes.
Because that's the only one I actually understood.
No.
So I didn't understand any other symbols.
No, I feel like that one's just a little sad.
Because like it was like of him like trying to absorb the book knowledge on the train, but he couldn't. Like a sieve in the sand, you're trying to pour sand in a sieve, and it just keeps falling out.
No, but like what's so sad is like, okay, it's like the entire society is like basically, no one's interested in learning knowledge. Like no one wants to know, go out and read a book. Like they don't even have the interest anymore. And the second like, he wants to, like Montag, he generally wants to like start learning and like understand what's happening in these books, and he just can't, because like his whole life was just like built upon like really just like useless information and like the mindless media that they've been consuming. So it shows that like his brain literally no longer lacks the intelligence, like what? No, now lacks the intelligence to like even just comprehend literature and stuff. Okay, one of my personal ones is the seashell radio. Okay, because I think it's really similar to like how obviously our earbuds today, and everyone walks around with their AirPods in, right? 2 AirPods in means don't talk to me, blah blah, right? And it's like, especially in the book, they always talk about how the technology like affects them. Like for example, like the parlor walls and stuff. How everyone's just so like hooked onto it. Like even Mildred, she calls them her family. Like that's like creepy, but besides that, it's like the fact that you sit down at these TV screens, staring at them the whole day, and then the second you walk away, you have to stick something in your ear to keep yourself occupied. Just shows that like no one has time to just sit down and just think. Like it just doesn't exist in this world, and
it's low-key like right now, because right now technology it's gone so like widespread. Like everyone's been using it. Like right now, I could be wearing AirPods, and you would never. You could be wearing AirPods for all I know. But I bet you at least half the school right now is definitely wearing some sort of earbuds or listening device. It's like people aren't. They're still thinking for themselves. It's not as bad as like their society, but still like I feel like it might get there eventually to where everyone's just on their technology, TVs, and all that. Like they don't have real communication with each other.
Yeah, it sounds really sad. It's like, everywhere you go, you're always gonna see them AirPods. Okay, well, moving on from some of the symbols we saw, what do you think like some of the major themes were? Like I think that this book was a lot to unpack, so there were a lot of major themes going on here that I think some of them are really interesting. Do you have any that come to mind?
I think the one at least for the test that we did, I wrote like conformity versus like individuality, because in their society everyone's trying to be the same, fit in, as in like they don't talk to each other, no original thoughts, no like walking alone, like no thinking, just like on your technology and everything. Whereas like Clarice and what's his name, Guy, like they were just trying to be like their own people, like, they're trying to have their own thoughts. And then like Granger and the other like retired professors, they wanted to like bring back what they wanted to do. They didn't want to be part of the society. They just wanted to bring back original thought.
Yeah, and if you see like the way like the people who have more individual thoughts, like you said, the Clarice and like the book people who are like around the campfire and everything, like the way they're treated by society is so different. Like remember in the beginning, Clarice is like, oh, they call me like, what was the word she used? I can't remember the exact word she used, but she was like, they call her antisocial or something.
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah, like they were saying, oh, she's not social or whatever, but like she
Yeah.
was social. It was just a different kind of social. Like
Yeah.
she didn't care about all that like mindless crap, you know.
Yeah, they were
She
just all
wouldn't-
different
yeah.
people.
Yeah, she had like real curiosity, and in the end, she ended up disappearing, and then like the people, they have to hide away from the rest of civilization just because of the way they're being treated, and that's honestly really sad.
You have any other themes that come to mind?
Obviously, the main one has to be censorship and control, in my opinion, because obviously they ban books, and yeah, it's like banning the books is just like a way to control them. Like if they block them off from knowledge, if they block them off from individual thinking, then the government can control them just so much better, and they can like, you know, they can warp their minds. Like basically, this whole book reminds me of just brainwashing. It's like literal brainwashing.
Yeah, it's like they also use like the seashells and technologies to control them because they can like advertise and spread what the government wants them to hear. So they only listen to like this and this, but they can't like think of anything else. It's just that's what it's in their mind.
Yeah, that's why I think like the theme of like the technology and like the whole disconnection with society. I think that's like a really big part. It's like it's obviously a main theme, but it's almost like a subcategory under censorship because it's like what the government uses is the technology to be able to control the people. Wait, how long do we have until? Okay.
You have like 7 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that's just really interesting just because like the way the technology plays into like the government controlling us. And it's like if you see us today, it's a little scary like how just big of an effect like the technology has on us now. But yeah, hopefully we don't end up like them because that'd be kind of sad.
Yeah.
Okay. I think one of the big ones is like the memory and history because like one of like the biggest things that stood out to me in the book was how they were like I think repetitively multiple times they mentioned remember
burning like houses were normal.
No, what was it? Then they were like, oh, firemen firemen used to put out fires. And they're like, nah, no, they didn't. Like the idea was just so foreign to them because they just never saw that. But if they were like previous books that existed or even just any previous like memory of like the previous generations of humanity, then like they would remember like this is wrong. But the fact that they have nothing to compare their society now, it just seems so normal to them. Like, but to us, obviously living in like regular society, it's like it seems so dystopian. Yeah. But that was their normal.
That's like it's actually really sad.
Yeah, it is really sad.
It's just burning houses. That's like the norm. Killing off people, like just letting them die off. It's really sad.
It's really sad. Yeah. Yeah, and then I think that goes back to like dehumanization. Yeah. Like literally, people they just don't care about anyone anymore. Like if you see, like, okay, remember that scene where Mildred invites over her friends, and then bro, they're just talking about mindless crap. Like they're just like, can you believe what he did on the TV and stuff? And it's like, bro, it's not that.
They were also like talking about their husbands just going off to war. Like, oh yeah, war is happening. You know, war is gonna start in 10 days. Like, cool.
The way they talked about their children.
I know. Oh yeah, for their sake, the children are such burdens. Like, why are you having?
No, they're literally animals. They're literally animals.
It's crazy.
No, like they were like, oh, you know, they're so easy. Just like shove them into a little room and put them with the screens. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, that's probably how they were raised because like they're just obsessed with their screens. That's how they were taught. You know.
Yeah, really but then when you see like the way that even like their own children are treated, you can see how like basically they're almost programmed from the start to be like not social, I have a heavy reliance on technology and everything, and that's just like really sad. Hi, Meg. Yeah,
it's not even their fault. It's just like that's just how they were raised. Like they were born into society. They can't like Clarice. She's like a teenager. She was just born into that. You know, she couldn't like do anything about it. So she's like in her own way. She's trying to like rebel, but she can't. Yeah,
but like you know what's funny is that you know where Clarice got it from was her uncle. Yeah, and it's like that's how you know that like the kids are growing up in the society. But if they even have like one adult or like a family who thinks differently, or like who like.
They might have been part of society before like they all started burning, like before it became normal.
Yeah, so it's just like it's the kids and the people in society are just so influenced by the environment around them that, you know, if you even have a couple people who are normal, I guess, then it'll completely change your way of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we've talked about like the major themes, what are some like the what are some like the authors like takeaways and stuff, like the main things they wanted us to learn from this? Because
I think he wanted us to know like just technology, because it was written in the 1950s, so that I would say that's about the time where technology was like starting to emerge. Like computers were first coming out, radios first coming out, transportations like cars and things, they were first like being invented. So I would say like he's trying to say that society like can't be taken over by technology. Like if we keep evolving like this, then we're gonna be taken over, and he doesn't want like that to happen. He wants us to keep having original thought and talking to each other.
Yeah.
So I think he's just trying to like warn us, like, don't let technology take over your life. If I know technology, it will 100% be part of everyday society, but just make sure you have like a balance between your social life and like technology.
Yeah. And it's like once it gets to a point that we rely on technology so much, then that lets the government control us more, put thoughts in our head, influence us, right? Because they can just like, even subconsciously, the things we hear, the things we see, it's just, like, have you seen like, I think in AP Gov, weren't you guys like talking about like certain types of media can like affect like your subconscious thinking of no I could have sworn.
We're also here with the phone. You want to say hi?
Oh yeah, hello.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's our recorder.
He's the recorder guy.
Yeah.
I'm
But
here.
okay, well, I read some article a while ago. It was like about how like like the media we consume and stuff, how it can influence like our subconscious thinking and change our thoughts and opinions. And I think he's saying that if we get so reliant on technology, that's the only thing we see, then we're going to be over reliant on it. And it's obviously going to affect our social interactions too, our political views, even our morals.
It's crazy how like he was able to, he did this in the 1950s. He's long dead by now. But
yeah, bro, like predicted this. He had foresight.
It's crazy how he predicted all this. It's like it's really accurate. Especially the seashells in the parlor walls. Those are just big TVs and AirPods. Like, it's so accurate, which is crazy.
No, literally, it's honestly scary. Like, don't be afraid to like, go against the grain, be different. Yeah.
Oh my God. We'll be back for part 2 later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, see you.
Huh? Ad break.
Ad break. Hello everyone and welcome back to our podcast. This is day 2. We low-key had to stop recording yesterday, so this is the second part of our discussion of Fahrenheit 451.
All right, so let's get to it. So Fahrenheit 451, I think it was a really interesting book, and like so many scenes had a huge impact on me. Like, what do you think which scene do you think had the most impact on you?
Do you remember like the scene in part 1 where the lady's like the lady's in the house with the books, and then the firemen come to burn her books, and instead of leaving her books and coming out of the house like to stay safe, instead she decides to just stay there. Okay. Right. And in the end, like they're like pumping the house full of kerosene and whatever, and I'll literally show you right now. Because there's books
in her house, so everybody's burning it all.
Yeah. And then like Montag just keeps trying to get her out. He keeps trying to get her out, and she's like, no, I want to stay here and stuff. And then he's like, he can't understand why. And then he leaves, and then he sees that she has the match in her hand, and then she's the one who ends up dropping it before they can even light the house on fire. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought the firemen burned it.
Well, I actually read the book properly, so.
Oh, well, okay.
No, but I think just like, obviously it's suicide, so it's not like, you can't be like, oh, that's so respectable, blah, blah, blah. But like, something about it's like empowering, It's like, you guys can't be the one to take my books away from me, and I'm the one who's going to end it on my own terms. And I feel like that's really powerful. And I also feel like it's just like a final act of defiance, basically.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't control me. I'm in charge of my own life. I'm in charge of my own books. And also, like, it was a huge turning point for Montag, because that's when he realized, like, wow, these aren't just words on a page. These actually, like, mean something. It's enough for people to give up their lives for. So, because he was already, like, going towards that general mindset, once he saw that, like, completely shifted his perspective. And I think that's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. How about you?
I think for me, I would have to say it's like at the very end of the book where like Montag's with all the like professors. Okay. And Montag's with all the professors, and then like the city just blows up because like the war started and they blow the city up. But no, like because like they all die at the end, which is like it made me feel really sad. But like it was also like a glimmer of hope, because like that society, that's how it shows that without like knowledge and original thought, society like dies, like gets destroyed, as shown as like when they just blew it up. But it also shows like hope. At least I feel like it gave me hope, because at least with that society being like destroyed, they can start up a new society where original thoughts allowed, books are allowed, and you can like actually express your mind properly.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I felt that was A really interesting thing to add in the book. I don't know if I liked it or not, to be honest. I feel like that part's a little
I enjoyed
strange.
it. I mean,
It just felt so random, but we'll get to that part later. Yeah. Anyways, besides your favorite book in the scene, let's talk about some of like the current censorship types, because obviously the book explores a lot of themes of censorship. So, right here in Georgia, we actually have like schools and different places that face their own version of censorship. So.
Yeah, I heard about this like thing. It was in like Marietta. It was like I think it was the high school or just like maybe the library. They were like banning certain books, like targeting books with talking about characters of color, sexual assault and consent, and like topics about LGBTQ. It's like I think it was like 25 books, but like I use like this website. It was like Pen America. It talked about how they booked 25 books, and they reviewed over 20,000 books, which is crazy. That's so many books, and they still 25 might not seem like a lot of books, but still that they're banning and they're like kind of like oppressing society. Like it's not to a certain extent like Fahrenheit, but it's still like some sort of oppression.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like we should low-key be able to read. Also, wait, like obviously the book is about burning books, right?
Right.
And then that this book is about to get banned.
Oh, actually? Yeah. Wait, where?
No, I think was it Ms. Velasquez talking about that in class?
I have no clue.
No, she mentioned it. She's literally saying that this book is like they're planning like to ban it in some areas because of the themes of like government oppression and whatever and freedom of speech, and they're like, no, that's too dangerous. So that's kind of interesting. That sounds a little familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
a little bit. Are you searching it up right now?
No. I'm just like looking at like what else we need to talk about. No, but like cause like when they're up like let's restart. What? Okay, so like they're oppressing these books because they're trying to like keep like right now they're trying to keep society like comfortable or whatever. But, like I feel like people should be able to just like, if they don't want to read the books, then don't read them. Like I don't think they have to be banning these books. Like, and also it's kind of like fair.
Bruh.
So there's this new guy in here.
I'll go open it. You're actually a rat, bro. Why are you stalking us in the middle of our podcast? Say hi to the camera. Hi. Anyways, our cameraman just walked in. 5 minutes late. Anyways.
What was I talking about?
Wait,
right.
You talked to Ms. Velasquez, right?
Yeah.
About that we're recording. What did she say?
She said just write your name on the board.
Oh, my name too? My name?
No, only wrote my name. No, I wrote your name too. But okay, so like, cause like this is kind of like what's happening exactly in Fahrenheit 451 because like.
Can you say 451?
451.
You say 451, it's like get out, man.
451.
451, but whatever. Continue.
451.
451 or 451?
451. 451.
Thank
Fahrenheit
you.
451.
Okay, I win. Anyway, just stop talking.
Okay, whatever. But it's kind of like what's happening right now in the book because in the book the firemen are burning the books trying to like oppress society, keep society happy, right? They do it by burning, but like here I feel like burning books, I don't know if that's legal or not, or it's not good for the environment or whatever. Illegal, yeah. But for like our version is like the government's just trying to like ban it, get rid of them. So it's like it's kind of the same. About what's happening. It's just oppression. They're just getting rid of books because it makes society unhappy.
Yeah, and even though it's like technically, I guess on a smaller scale, like it's just like a couple books, blah blah blah. Like in the end, a couple books could spiral into like.
Yeah.
Why is my voice so hoarse? Wait.
It's not legal. It's not what legal? No. Yeah. Okay.
What's not legal?
Burning books.
Oh, okay. Well, our little camera just did a little search, and he said it's not legal.
Yeah.
To burn books. Okay.
Yes,
they peak of knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know any other like current events that are happening like right here in Georgia?
Yeah, so I was actually reading this article. It was on GeorgiaPoliticalReview.com, and apparently there's this new bill that was passed. It's called SB 74 in Georgia, and
what's that about?
Basically, there were like protections given to like librarians previously about how, for like they were just giving like more protections. Like if a kid is seen with like a book that's like obscene or whatever, like they wouldn't get in trouble. But now they're trying to remove those protections, and they're gonna hold these librarians accountable if they distribute like books and materials that are seen as like harmful, like obscene or like has too much sexual content. Then they could actually get in big trouble for that. So it's how is that impression?
Huh?
Wait, wait, let me go back to the article actually. Wait. Okay, I just reviewed the bill right now, and basically the reason why this bill is so controversial is that it just puts like it says, okay, libraries can get in trouble for giving minors books that are harmful to them, but they didn't put like a specific label on what's considered harmful. Right. So if they see something like maybe they don't want kids to have because it'll shape their political views or whatever, like in a way that they don't want it to go, then they can just like, you know, get the libraries in trouble for giving something harmful to minors, but define harmful, right? And it's like, it's not super specific. And even though, yeah, some of it's protections, like, yeah, you don't want minors to consume too much, you know, negative content, whatever, right? But like, it gets to a point, and, you know, once they pass a bill on it, then there's like loopholes, and then they can use that to their advantage to, like, you know, filter the content that we are consuming. And it's like, it's obviously not a good thing, you know? We want to be able to consume whatever content we would like and have our own free autonomy. So
wait, was this the Georgia Senate? That was
this is the Georgia Senate.
I feel like
it's really recent, actually, like a few months ago. Yeah.
I feel like parents kind of have a role because it's about kids, right? Specifically minors. So I feel like parents have a role on like kind of deciding what they want their kids to know or what to view or what they don't want to view. But like, I feel it is oppression, but like it's like a parental like caring way. 'Cause, like it just really depends on how you view it, you know?
Yeah, that's why it's like, you know, some people are really for it, some people are really against it. But I think there's pros and cons, but I feel like it would be better without that role personally, because it's just too much potential for it to go wrong. Honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. Because like kids can just choose, or like at least especially kids at a library. I feel like if you're a younger kid, you need like parents to like check it out for you, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like the parent can just, if you don't want to read that book, parents just don't check it out. You know? It's, I mean, after all, it's like you're a kid, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Okay, so obviously, at the time this was written in 1953, there was a lot of new technologies coming out. I think that was a really big inspiration for why he wrote it, because he wanted to show how the new technology would impact future generations. Right. And obviously, there's a lot of pros and cons to this. Like, there's good things for technology. Like, it helps our economy. It's great. But there's also a lot of negative things. Like, you know, the effect it has on teens and our mental health. So, you know, let's just dive a little deeper into that. You know, what do you think some of the pros and cons would be?
I think it's like, okay, so like,
technology.
Pros of technology is like it's a lot easier to communicate with the rest of the world. You know, like if you need to like go to the hospital or something, you can, oh my god, communication. You can, if you need to send back then they used to like maybe send letters or through the mail, right? That usually took like what, maybe a week, a couple of days, 2 weeks. So that takes a really long time.
In Harry Potter when they have like the owls.
Oh yeah, that took so long. It's just like I'm trying to think, as kids, like you're talking to your friends, right? It's really annoying if you have to wait like this amount of time. Like you have to wait 30 minutes for a message to go through. That's really like slow. You know, I if I was a kid back then, I would just be really pissed off. You
know, like I think when they would like type, they would use like letter, like numbers and stuff, like great, it'd be GR8, because they used to have to pay for like every like a letter they would use, and it's like that's just slow communication. But like now technology's advancing and stuff, everything's more efficient. People, like everyone's connected now through social media and, you know, different applications where people can message and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I think like also motor or transportation has like been a great improvement with the new technologies, because if you need to go to the hospital or going to work, it's a lot quicker now, because and cheaper in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because then you have to maybe take a train, or like 1950s. I guess cars existed.
No, there were cars, but it wasn't as common. Like
now
there's like a lot.
Yeah, now
cars are just everywhere.
Yeah. Then did highways? Yeah, they definitely did. But I think it wasn't as like normal. You know?
It wasn't as sophisticated. It wasn't as advanced.
Yeah, it was like more like for the wealthy, I would say. So like now everyone has access to it, so everyone can get where they need to go as quick as possible.
Everyone in America, most people in America, yeah. Other places are still underdeveloped, but like specifically in America, like our technology is super advanced. So, you know, also boost our economy and stuff. You know, it's more creating products more efficiently, lower production costs, because obviously there's negatives to that too. You know, laying people off and all that, but for the most part, I'd say it's pretty good, because now things are cheaper. Labor's cheaper and everything. It's like you don't have to use real people for everything. You can just use technology now.
And searching the web. So useful. So useful, bro. ChatGPT.
The entire
ChatGPT.
Get out. Miss V, don't get mad. ChatGPT is great.
Yeah.
Just not for your class. But yeah, I think the whole world of like information is just basically at our fingertips now. You have a question? Just Google it.
Up. Exactly.
Yeah, just like okay.
You don't need to like go anywhere to search it up. You don't have to like solve for it. Just search it up.
Yep. Yeah. But obviously, despite like all these like positive outcomes of education, there's always a lot of negative effects too. So I'd say a big one nowadays is like how it affects teens and their mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, everyone's depressed nowadays. It's basically a mental health epidemic. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because you have to like conform to like if you do this wrong, then you're gonna get like flamed. You know.
It's not even just that. It's like obviously there's cyberbullying online. It's
Right.
just the effect of consuming so much media in our
Mhm.
brains like 24/7. It's like constant influx of information. It's too much. We're not
Yeah.
designed to handle that, you know? And that reduces mental health. Like everyone's lonely nowadays.
Yeah,
Everyone's just cooped up scrolling on reels.
They don't like go. They don't go. It's like the book. They don't go outside like talk to their friends
Yeah,
anymore.
no.
They're just on their phones. You know.
Mhm.
If I want to talk to my friends, I'll like DM them. I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
out and talk to them.
Yeah, and it's like different because always talking online, talking in person is like completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can act
I've
like
experience with that.
all right. You can act like a B word behind the screen.
Oh my god.
But in person, you can just like you can be the most jolly person.
It's
you know?
usually the opposite though. It's
Is
usually,
it?
yeah. No, people on text they'll be like so sweet, so kind, so nice. You
No, I
go,
feel like it's the
no,
opposite.
you call them until 2 a.m. and you have the best conversations ever. Then you walk and it's cool, and they just don't come up to you in person.
Personal
And
experience.
I think personal experience. You know exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking
Personal
about.
experience.
No shade, no shade.
Right.
But yeah, no, it sucks really. It's like
Well, yeah. I guess it's easier to talk like
Yeah.
because you're not actually like.
you do it
talking
too
to them.
sometimes. You do it too.
I
In
do?
person,
Oh.
you're different than when you are on text and on
Nonchalant.
call.
Everybody is different.
Yeah. There's still
Yeah.
it's still an extent.
No, but okay, my online personality and my in-person personality is literally the same. Like I text how I talk,
Oh.
right, Evan?
Definitely more than the average person. Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm like basically the same, but most people they're completely different. And it's like terrifying. But yeah. Anyways, that's bad for mental health. So.
Yeah.
Back on track.
Also, like with school too, like I feel like with all the new current technologies, you can just as I was saying, like ChatGPT, AI, Gemini, you can just instead of actually learning, you're just using that. So,
I
like,
mean, it's easier for us.
I mean,
but-
easier for us, but like I feel like we're not learning, you know. We're
Also,
just like
imagine like in 20 years, I go to the doctor and they graduate from ChatGPT. Like, bro,
that's
they actually don't know
what are you
anything.
talking 20 years? That's gonna be us now. That's gonna be us.
That's gonna be
What do you mean?
Okay,
All of
maybe
that
in,
was
like,
bad, but-
already, I'm sure some of the doctors treated us. They graduated
Yeah.
just using ChatGPT for
Yeah.
everything.
Also, like with like phones, iPads, like, all the technology on your hand, I feel like while teachers are giving lectures, you're not really like paying attention. You're just like you're just scrolling, right?
as we said earlier, with AirPods.
Exactly.
With
With the AirPods,
AirPods,
yeah, you're just
mm.
listening to music. Like you have something going on here where the teacher's like over here. It's just not like paying attention. You're
Yeah.
hearing it, you're not comprehending it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier too. Like the whole attention span issue.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
man,
Oh, my attention
these kids,
span's
bro.
horrible.
I think these kids. This is literally my age, right? But like, I'll be talking to people my age, and they can't even make eye contact with me. Like, they can't even look at me. Like, they're just like, and they pull out their phone every 2 seconds, check
look
their
at me.
notifications. Like, yeah, no,
Just
well,
look at-
no, we can sit down and talk and have a conversation, but a lot of people literally can't. Like, there's people in class they're just on their phone 24/7. Like, your screen time must be insane. Because what do you mean you're just like scrolling 24/7, always texting somebody? Like, it's crazy. No, okay, well he does that in class.
That's
Wait, this is incriminating. What?
Yeah, don't rat me out, bro.
Okay.
I'm an amazing student. I never use my
25
phone.
hours of screen time. No.
So wait, get out. Okay,
Never
well
use
that's
it.
like different, right? But I'm saying like in person when you're talking to people, like you don't need to be on your phone 24/7. It
Right,
gets to
yeah.
a point. It's like the attention span is just horrible. Like you can't sit down for like 10 minutes without playing with their phone or just like, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's ridiculous, but yeah. What was I saying?
Hold up. Going back, I mean, we kind of like skipped past this, I think. But like, what like, because he wrote this book in 1951, right?
Mhm.
Or
53. I
53.
think.
Yeah, he wrote in 53. He predicted all this like technology, like the parlor walls, the I guess police cars. 'Cause it was in the not the
Yeah,
Fahrenheit
the
451.
Beetle or whatever.
It was like the Beetle and the pedestrian. They were talking about like police cars. I don't
Yeah, yeah.
automated police cars to be
Do we
specific.
have those now?
I
We
mean,
don't have them.
we have not police cars, but we have automated like self-drive cars.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what I
true,
mean.
true,
And
true.
then
Oh, like the seashells.
and the
like-
seashells, yeah.
Like earbuds, yeah.
So like, how do you think he predicted this? Like, what technologies do you think like helped were existed back then to help him like gain insight on like, what's gonna be here now?
Oh. Wait, that's kind of a hard question, actually. Is it actually?
Yeah, I read it. Well, technologies existed.
Where?
Scroll down, or scroll up. Yeah.
Hard disk. No, you're talking about that.
Just say it or talk about. You wrote like the telephones, cars, radio, nuclear technology.
Okay.
You wrote all that.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had telephones back then, like, you know, like actual.
Yeah, it was like
Telephone.
the connected to the phone or the wall connected to the wall. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh wait, you know, also what reminds me, it's a little like the thing that Montag has in his ear.
The-
That-
like
Yeah,
the yeah.
like that Faber like can pick up
It was like a seashell, but it was like a two-way seashell.
Yeah, it was like he can hear his voice. So obviously that's using speakers. I'm sure they had speakers back then because of like TVs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they had to use like a microphone to pick up Montag's voice.
Probably had microphones because I think radio existed back then too.
Yeah. So
I
they
guess
probably just like use the technology they had then, like those like basic technologies, you know, like microphones, speakers, and then they just kind of like made it more advanced. They're like, okay, what if we just have that like a small version in that ear and stuff? And it's like
1953 was after World War II, right? So I think he just nodded yes. But so that means they had atomic bombs. So maybe that's just where they got that from in the book.
They got their earbuds from atomic bombs.
No. They got their atomic bombs from atomic bombs.
What? Huh?
Because they used atomic bombs in Japan, right?
Oh,
right? So
you're saying in the book? Okay.
Yes, in the book.
I don't know what else.
They used it like 3 different times. Or
Okay.
they had 2 atomic wars, and then they bombed the city with an atomic bomb. So maybe that's
probably
where
reference to like some of the stuff that happened in the other world wars.
Mhm.
So that's interesting. That's what like space race technology and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I don't know how it relates to the book, but
I
that's
don't
pretty
know.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Cut this out, but what's it called? You said they didn't have cars were not as abundant in 1950. Cars were everywhere in 1950.
I have no clue.
Okay, clarification. Cars were everywhere in 1953. They just weren't as technologically advanced, and they looked like crap.
They're more everywhere now. Everywhere.
It's more common now. Yeah. Is this too casual? Do we have to cut all of this out? Cause I'm kind of keeping all of it.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
I'm planning on keeping it.
You
Okay,
can make take out the certain ones about like the Switch and stuff. Take out like certain ones about the Switch.
Like about his new video game.
you can add it at like the end or something, but like about like if we're talking about World War II, the spacers or cars, you can do that.
When did you edit this?
When did I edit it?
Wouldn't you edit this?
No, he's editing. She's editing.
I'm the editor, guys.
You said something about space, right?
Space race, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, space race started in 1950s. So
Yeah, but we don't know how to relate it.
perfectly when they.
We
Feel
can't
like a
relate
little
to the
nerd
book.
over here.
How does it relate to Fahrenheit 451?
And that's not. But you mentioned it.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
did you read it?
The book.
Yeah?
I think every class.
Annotate the entire book.
Yeah, they had to annotate. Yeah.
Actually, who's your teacher?
Handful.
Well, I'm cutting this
Well,
off. So
I
she's getting
barely
ideas.
annotated and I got 100.
Well, we also had to do an essay, and we're a major podcast, so it kind of like makes up
We
for
got a
it.
test.
Oh, we did too, actually.
We had a quiz. It was a test. It was a quiz.
Okay, yeah, we had a quiz,
Oh, yeah,
podcast,
yeah,
essay. We had like everything based off of this. So obviously, this book was taking place like around, let's say,
It's 2050. Set in 2050.
Set in 20. Yeah, I know, but
2050
I'm not.
something.
I think this book was written like
yeah.
70 years ago, and it was predicted 100 years in the future. So
Right.
we should predict like from society now
Mm.
how it's gonna be in another 100 years.
So what? 2025. So 200. Wait, 2,125. That year. 2,125.
So what would it be?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I don't know how to.
But yes,
years work.
100 years from now. Yeah.
Okay.
So like, do you think it would be? I'm trying to think. Do you think it would be better or worse than it is now? Because with all the growing technology, all the easier communication, how do you think it's gonna be?
I think it's definitely I think it's definitely a mix because like there's gonna be a lot of good things. Like, okay, our technology is gonna get so advanced, you know, we probably won't even have to walk anymore. We'll just float.
Right.
Right, you know, things would be so much like easier, but there's gonna be a lot of bad things too. Like mental health is probably gonna get worse.
Yeah, I feel like
Everyone's gonna be lonely.
School's not gonna be as like,
Fun.
not.
No one's gonna go outside anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everyone's just gonna be on
Yeah.
their screens.
Like we already see it happening, but I'm assuming later it's gonna be even worse, right? And everyone's social life is gonna be online. It's just online.
I feel like virtual reality might get more
Yeah.
abundant, so everyone's just gonna instead
Yeah.
of like going outside, they just put it on, and then they'll be like outside.
Everyone's gonna have a vitamin D deficiency.
Yeah.
No one touches grass anymore. It's gonna
Yeah.
be sad. And obviously attention spans, like we were saying before, that's gonna get horrible.
It's gonna get really bad.
Like
It's
2
already really
seconds.
bad. It's already
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like movies.
No, like
that are set in the
Bradbury
future.
is pretty accurate. Like he did a
Yeah.
good job. So we gotta predict it 100 years and show this video. You know,
I feel like holograms being abundant.
holograms would be so cool.
You think flying
like touchscreen holograms?
Yeah.
That would be pretty
You think flying cars?
amazing.
I don't know, 100 years, I think
Flying?
so.
I think floating. You know, like I think like in Japan or whatever, they already started like the floating trains.
Either
Yeah,
they
it's
use
like,
the
it's like
magnetic thing.
magnet, and it's
Yeah.
like it like goes like shoots forward.
Yeah,
it's like
a bullet.
floating.
I think it's called
so
like a bullet
cool.
train. It goes like
Yeah.
it's really quick.
I think are they common now? I think there's not many,
I think
right?
it's just in Japan.
Yeah, but
You know.
we're already having. Is that true?
They're in other places.
Okay.
No, like is it common? Do you know?
It's getting more and more common.
Loki, I think America's a little behind on the infrastructure.
So too.
Not like in a bad way.
Every tourist is probably gonna go to the bullet train at least like once.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna go for the summer.
So
I'm gonna ride a bullet train this summer.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This video will send you a video of him riding a bullet train.
No, I won't.
Okay. Anyways,
I think.
yeah. What else? What else do you think?
I think me personally, I think it's gonna be I'm trying to think. I low-key think it's gonna be worse.
What's gonna be worse? Specific?
I don't like specific, like just like how people interact. Like you already said most of it. How people interact. How like I feel like education is gonna be a lot like less.
Yeah, because okay, say technology is so perfect. What if no one has to do their jobs
For
anymore?
real, like IQ is just not gonna automation. Like they're not.
Yeah,
Gonna,
everything automatic. Like who needs a doctor when you have like
For real.
a robot that'll tell you everything wrong with you?
Oh, I also think it's gonna be worse because like if they have no jobs, no money.
And if people don't have motivation to get like, what's the motivation for being educated? So you can go to a good college and get a good job and make money, right?
Exactly.
But if everyone's needs are already met by technology, then there's no need for the jobs and there's no need for the education, so no one cares anymore.
I feel like for like people living then, they're gonna think it's good, right? Because like they don't have to do anything. But I feel that means they're gonna get really lazy. I think.
And then it's depressing because there's no purpose to your life anymore. Like having jobs, going to school, and like having a daily routine. That's what keeps us sane.
Yeah,
literally.
Mental health will definitely get worse. I think, but also I think physical health is definitely gonna get worse too. Like, cause like,
who's gonna exercise?
for real, like think about cause like now versus 100 years. Think about Americans specifically. Americans are obese right now. So think about 100 years from now, I think it's gonna get a lot worse. Because Americans are already really lazy.
I mean, yeah, you know how those like companies are, consumerism, blah blah blah. They just want their money, and then they're feeding us all this junk food, and it's like horrible for us.
Production, I feel it's gonna get easier and cheaper, 100%. That's a good thing, right? But I feel like with that
more processed foods.
Yeah, with that comes more processed foods,
and then
easier to get like really unhealthy things, or like things you really want to do that aren't really good for you.
And this kind of connects back to education because a lot of people like they get to college for like sports scholarships and stuff.
Right.
So it's like if you don't have the motivation to play those sports anymore, you're not gonna be as active either because it doesn't matter what college you go to because you don't really need to work anymore.
I feel like I'm trying to. I always like I'm still in like my Hunger Games phase right now because I just read it a couple days ago.
The Hunger Games?
Yeah.
Is the new one?
The new one, and then I was also watching about like the cast. They have new casting.
Wait, what?
So the new movie.
Like, is it because it's new characters or just same characters
there's
but
some
new people?
Because it's all younger versions of the current characters. Because it's a 50th second quarter call.
Oh, it's Haymitch's, right?
Haymitch's, yeah. So he's like a new same character, different person. BD's in it, Wirus is in it, Mags is in it, but they're all like different people. But then there's also like all the new characters.
Wait, maybe I'll edit in some of the cast. Just out of if you get curious,
No, but I'm trying to think like because like now they live. I'm assuming they live in a. Yeah, they definitely do. Because in the beginning they said like, this was once North America, right? No, it's Phantom. So I feel like for sports we're gonna have like different form of sports. I feel like we're gonna have like because right now we use like what pigs race, like horse racing, like we use animals, right? I feel like 100 years, not 100. I feel like past that we might use humans for entertainment. I think we already do. We use movies and stuff.
Why is it so dark?
But like worse, I don't know.
Wow,
yeah.
We'll see. Well, what do you think? How's it gonna be with like oppression wise, government wise? About even like human rights.
I feel okay. Right now they're already oppressing certain things. So I feel like, but 100 years, I feel like it could change. I feel like they might oppress certain things like 50 years from now, and then they might like.
But you know what's funny? It's like, are we thinking on American scale, on the scale of just the U.S. or like the whole world? Because like the whole world, if you're looking at the whole world, there's countries who are like have it way worse.
It's gonna be a lot different than it. Like from America to like Japan, I feel like it's gonna be a lot different.
Or like even like how it is in like Afghanistan right now. It's, like,
right
horrible.
now, yeah.
But like versus if you compare it to us, you're like we have it easier if you compare it.
I feel like the world will definitely like as a whole will be more economically developed. Like I feel like I don't want to say Africa's like poor, but they're less developed than like the Americas, Asia.
Yesterday's presentation to like India and other poor countries.
Yeah, I was telling him about it, but yeah, I feel like Africa's definitely be like probably more developed than we are right now. But I don't know if that's I mean, it's definitely a good thing, right? More health, more people are living. There's also a lot of like negatives to that, which I'm not sure. Like overpopulation's a huge thing. Because they're not gonna have enough.
Why are they
supply.
doing that? It's happening in China and stuff too.
Oh,
like
they are
India
like the one child policy or something.
Yeah. Versus like South Korea's birth rate, like.
Yeah, and Japan's birth rate is going down.
Yeah, like I was watching a video and apparently South Korea's low-key cooked because like there's
birth?
no way they can come back
Population?
from it. Yeah, like it's gotten so.
Actually,
I don't know why we're talking. Okay, let's get back on track. But future predictions. Anything else?
I don't know.
I don't really think I have anything else to add on either.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, camera guy, anything you want to add on?
100 years from now, how do you think it's
future
gonna be?
predictions?
100
Yeah,
years.
Like 100 years from now.
100 years from now.
We're gonna cut this out and we're gonna pretend like it's our idea.
Yeah, you're not getting the
100
credit.
years from now, cancer is still not gonna be fixed.
Cancer?
Well, I feel like it. Oh
Well,
no, probably not.
No, yeah. In 100 years, cancer will be solved.
Yeah, I think. Okay,
I'll be the one to solve it. But
right. Like for like diseases and things, I feel like certain diseases might be fixed. Like maybe the flu.
I
there's
think
gonna be-
everything's gonna be fixed.
Everything?
Everything.
I don't think. No,
I
because
don't think so.
No, I feel like in 100 years we're gonna master the human body. Cause like even think
No.
100 years ago they didn't have us like as they weren't nearly as close to we
for sure. But
as we are with medicine now. So like in 100 years, things are gonna be awesome.
Okay, we'll probably master like most things, like most not small to medium things, like maybe smallpox. Do we still have that? I have no clue. Chickenpox.
This is actually a big issue this year.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh yeah, it came back. Wait,
Yeah.
I think it's monkeypox.
monkeypox. Yeah, it's
Came
different.
back.
But I think 100 years, I feel like that might be not solved, like some sort of cure. And then I feel like the flu might be cured. But like, big things like COVID, I feel like, well, it's already kind of
low key kind of been like they found a vaccine and everything. But
yeah, but there's still like I don't think it's gonna have a cure. Well, I don't think it's gonna have a cure. Or cancer, definitely not. I don't think, for sure.
I'd say what's it called? Like as soon as you like master the human body and find a cure that cures everything, there's gonna be tons of new diseases that could just come out. That's how they work. They evolve and.
Yeah, true. Diseases do evolve.
Yeah, cause
No, maybe it'll take a long. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I think it would take. Go.
No, okay. I was like, we were learning the exact same thing in AP Human. They were saying like there's different stages to like a population about diseases called the epidemiological transition, whatever. Like the last stage it's like way into the future. I would say 100 years from now, for example. Like we're gonna have cures and everything. Like we're gonna have cures for current diseases, but then like during the last stage, 100 years from now, some old diseases are gonna like reemerge, come back somehow. Like what's the
Black Death.
Black Death. I think that's possible. It's a possible like it can come back because since we haven't we didn't find a cure for it. It just died out on its own.
Oh, actually?
There's no cure for it.
It
just died out. At least I don't think so.
Can you check? Is there a cure for the bubonic plague?
He's doing something. Bubonic? No, I don't think there's a cure. It just died out on its own.
Really?
It just died out.
Yeah, I can.
So if it came back, we'd all be cooked.
It killed a third of the
Exactly. It killed so many people.
No, I killed like half of Europe or
half
something.
of Europe, yeah.
Yeah. Because those types of really fatal diseases, they just kill. Like they don't have time to develop a cure. They just kill it off, and once they all die.
Plague, right?
Yeah, bubonic plague is the same thing.
Yeah,
It just died off, so it could possibly just come back.
Yeah, no, you're right, actually. So, if we were gonna master the human body and all the diseases, blah, blah, would go away, I would say that's more like 1,000 years, not 100.
Yeah, not 100.
Yeah, well, in 100
While
years...
there wasn't a cure of death during the 14th century, apparently there's been advancements ever since. Not a perfect cure, but like...
I guess humans have also evolved to kind of adapt to the disease.
Yeah. I mean, natural selection, right? Half of them die.
Yeah,
We better be immune.
Yeah.
But like you said, yeah, you're right. I think no matter how many diseases we cure, there's always gonna be new things to learn. But I think that's...
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the...
No, I don't think people will want to anyways.
You don't
Well,
know.
actually, future populations, like right now, next generation, probably not. Maybe like 100, 200 years from now, that generation might want to live
No,
forever.
I think our lifespans are gonna get longer, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's already getting longer.
As we develop.
It's already getting longer.
Yeah, lifespans are increasing, but I don't think we're gonna live forever.
And I'm pretty sure a couple hundred years ago, age to die was 40.
Oh, yeah.
40. Didn't you?
Yeah,
Miss
something
Last
like that.
talked about that, right?
Yeah,
So 100
I think
years from
so.
now, 100%. I feel like how many years do you think we? Because right now I would say 80 is 85 is around when you
Yeah,
die.
Conca.
Yeah, when you
Wait, why?
hit the kick the bucket. So what do you think? How many years extra do you think we're gonna live in 100 years?
I'm thinking extra at least 10.
10?
Yeah.
No,
That's a lot.
I mean, yeah, it's
Well, I
a
think
lot.
average would be average lifespan would be maybe up to 80 or something.
I
Wait,
think.
what did you say it was early? I
I-
think average is 75 right now or something, right?
Yeah, I said 75, 80. But I think it's
maybe 80,
next
85?
100 years, I think is only gonna increase by 2 years, 3 years.
Oh,
Yeah,
I disagree.
I don't know.
I'd say usually the average would become a high average would become 125.
In
Well,
100 years.
okay, you know what? This is why he's
Yeah,
on our
yeah,
podcast.
that's
He
why-
said
that's why
125 years.
That's why you're not on this. No,
Hey, we discussed medicine's gonna get.
Well, okay,
better.
how about we place our bets now, and then our grandchildren will check for us.
exactly.
Hey, I said hi. Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Anyways.
Do you
Ending and final thoughts.
do you have any other future predictions in the next 100 years?
No, I just hope we can fly. I hope I can float or fly or something. That'd
Alright.
be so cool. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So ending. So at the end, like the city blew up, right? Like
I didn't like the ending.
You didn't. Okay.
I didn't like the ending.
I should. You want to let me finish explaining it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so the only person who we know like confirmed died in the bombing that was of importance was Mildred, because like he was talking about, she was Montag was imagining her in like some sort of motel, realizing that she was wrong or whatever to go to Montag, but then she just dies.
Do you think he really cared about her?
I think so. Maybe like before Clarice, probably not. Like they were all like.
No, I think he thought he cared about her, but he didn't.
Yeah, because like, with the pollen or the flower, right? So if you rub it,
it's like it means you're in love or whatever.
Yeah, and it didn't rub off for him.
And he was like, "No, I am in love." Like he was so delusional. Like he generally thought he was.
It was the society that like changed. Like I love. Like they tell me I love you. I love you.
Yeah, it's like I'm supposed to love you, so I love you. But I don't think he definitely did.
Also like
he didn't care about her.
Yeah, and then because when Mildred ran off or something, I think he said he realized. I don't really care like if she's not with me anymore.
Yeah, and like he didn't think of her once until the end.
Yeah,
I think ever since she left until the end.
He just felt bad. Like that's how he felt. He just I feel bad that you're like.
Yeah, but anyways, moving on from like Mildred and stuff, like I would say I wish the book's ending was a bit more satisfying, like I said before, just because how could it just end like that? Like I understand, like really... I feel like I understand what he was trying to go for, like the whole new hope, city over symbolizes a new start, blah blah blah, but like you just killed off an entire city. It's like, what happens next? I need to know what happens next. Yeah. I know a lot of people some people like endings like that where it's like it just kind of ends abruptly, but not. But to me, it just felt rushed.
No, I just like it's up to, I guess, Ray Bradbury. He wanted it to be like that. He wanted us to like imagine a world of hope, after the bombing. He didn't want us to he wanted us to leave the thinking up to us. Like in the book, he didn't want us to like, just read the book like, oh, that's what happened. He wanted us to have original thought. So maybe that was like another message that he's trying to send.
It's not a stretch. I can't even disagree. It's literally just up to personal preference. Like, I know, like, even, like, there's a lot of movies and TV shows that just kind of, like, end off just, like, a random thing just happens and, like, bam. And it's, like, I don't like it because I understand what he was going for, but to me, I don't think it was well executed. I think the idea was good, but the execution was great because it was just rushed. It was rushed. Like, this book definitely could have been a lot longer.
I think so too, but it depends on the some movies I like it, some I don't. It just really depends.
Yeah, it's really all in the execution, and this one it didn't really hit the spot for me. Yeah, but I do like the part where I don't know if this is gonna be like the ending, but when he meets like the people in like the campfire. The ending. Yeah, I like that part just because it shows that he's not alone. There's also other people in the world who think similar to him, and Clarice and stuff, and like they're really not alone in what they feel. And I like how it symbolizes like how they're outcasted.
Right.
Because there's no room for people like them in that world. So
I think now that going back to the city being like the being blown up from the war, I think now there's room for them to like live,
Yeah.
They don't have to live in fear anymore. They can just live normal lives.
So, it's a good thing much people died.
Exactly.
They were basically mindless anyways.
Yeah. People died.
I sound like a horrible person. But yeah. Yeah, but any final thoughts you have about the book? Like, what did you think about the book overall?
I think actually it was one of the more interesting books. I think all the books we've read so far have actually not been bad. For some reason.
Okay, to be fair, My Cement was low-key kind of
boring. It was okay.
It was okay.
The ending got more interesting.
Yeah, I actually liked the ending for that book. See, that's not rushed.
It was a good ending. But because it also kind of relates back to society now, about everyone having their technologies being stuck at home. But and it's also dystopian type movies and books. It's actually
It's my favorite genre.
So
one of my favorites.
When big governments are oppressing people, it's actually I love those so much. So I actually really enjoyed this book.
Yeah, me too. Also, I would say I'm comparing this to Warriors Don't... Not compared to Warriors Don't Cry, but I'd say this and Warriors Don't Cry are my favorites, but I think this one would beat it, by a little bit. Just because I love the author's writing style, too. Not just, the story he tells, but the way he tells it. It's, how do I even explain it? It's more of, you have to piece some things together, kind of.
Yeah.
You really have to think deeply because he's not going to straight up tell you, oh, Mildred kept taking the pills because she kept forgetting. No, he assumes it's suicide and then it's up to us. No, let me explain. I'm being confusing right now. Guy assumes that Mildred wanted to kill herself and that's why she took the pills, right? But she's like, huh? I never did that. So then, as a reader, I'm assuming, wait, I don't think she killed herself to take the pills, but Ray Bradbury doesn't say that himself. I assume that.
Right.
Like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, since she's so mindless, she's just sitting there taking the pills, and then she forgot she took that pill, and then she just keeps taking another, takes another, and takes another, until she finishes the whole thing, has to go to the hospital. But, like, that's my assumption, but it's never confirmed exactly, but it's up to us to think about it, if you get what I mean. So I love the way he told the story like that, because it really, promotes deeper thinking.
It's like what I was talking about earlier, like Sure, just fell somewhere. He's leaving like original thought up to us. He wants us to like depict. He wants us to depict where how the story ends, or like what happens in the story. He doesn't want us to just read it and like that's what happened. He doesn't want us to be a mindless drone.
Which is funny. Yeah.
Any other final thoughts?
I'd say like throughout the podcast, we already talked a lot about random stuff to the book.
Yeah.
So I think I've talked about everything I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have anything else.
By the time we cut everything, maybe this will be about like maybe 40, 50 minutes. But just know we spent probably like an hour, 20 minutes just filming. But a lot of it was cut
and setting
out,
up. A lot of it was setting up.
Setting up, like, bro, these mics are impossible. But
we spent so much time setting up. Yeah. Also, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more if it wasn't a school book. But since it was a school book, I felt like I was reading it too because I had to.
Yeah.
I feel like this is something I would actually like pick up at a bookstore and just like read on my own.
Yeah, I would read so much, but like I can see myself in a few years coming back, picking this up and reading it and thoroughly enjoying it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. This is the first episode.
First and only episode.
First and only episode, yes. And we hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for listening all the way through. And yeah, you guys have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.